that quickly. Let's boil this down in 1 minute, though. So here we go. Stadium, highly contested issues over at the Capitol. You guys know this. Let's just go straight to the point. Nancy, are you for or against the stadium?
I am absolutely for.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then let me say public finances of the stadium, and then we'll go into the next one, which will be the charter and the support of the city of Minneapolis's referendum requirement as well. So Nancy started off. We'll keep it going.
I am absolutely for the stadium. I think that the Vikings are an institution of the state and community. I think that most people would agree that's really about how does it get financed. And I don't think that it should come out of the pockets of Minnesotans, and I don't think that it should come from existing programs that support our communities. So I think what the conversation should be, where does the community benefit come from it, and thinking about how do we share living wage jobs that come out of it, that they hire locally first out of the building and hiring of employees at the stadium. And again, that it just does not displace any funding to anything else that's important to us, and that it's not done in a regressive way that disproportionately affects our communities.
Like Nancy, I agree that there should be a stadium in District 59B. But let's be clear, if we are, if one of us is lucky enough to get the nomination to be elected, we have to work with the City Council. And right now, Lisa Goodman has some issues with the current plan. And we have to work with those individuals to try to get some type of compromise as to what can be built. But I am in favor of the building of the stadium. I think it's part of our civic it's part of who we are as Minnesotans. Also, I must say that I completely agree with Nancy, is if we are going to actually build the stadium, it needs to use a number of minority contract workers, and it needs to actually be people that live in Minnesota that are participating in the building of the stadium.
Thank you, Ian. Ken?
After seeing what happened with the 35W bridge, we had more Californians on the job than Minnesotans. Seriously. I mean, I went there and talked to those people. Where are you from? Wherever in California. I just got back from San Diego. So the second thing is that no one ever asked LA Park residents what we thought of what we're doing in our own neighborhood. And if you have to ask me, I live a half a block from it. When there's a monster truck show, honest to God, it is like vroom vroom all night long. They're working on the trails and then the fumes and everything. So they need to ask us first what we think, because the neighborhood already put something out that says that we're not sure we really want it in our neighborhood. Not to say you should talk to Hubert's also, because Hubert says that they would like it there, but not maybe in a different form. But you need to go to the neighborhood first. And then as far as funding, I think that the funding needs to be spread out more. U.S. Bank said they might want to name the thing. It's a rumor. It's on my MySpace page, but if you look, there's an article I put there about U.S. Bank wanting to name it vice possible.
Thank you. Ray?
Well, I'm in favor of the Vikings staying in Minneapolis. I think, like many of the other candidates here, that it's a great civic thing for our community. But the financing has to be the right package. And what we'll hear a lot of discussion about the initial cost financing, but there's something called future operations costs. And right now the discussion is that the Vikings pay very little future operation costs, and the operation costs fall back on us as the taxpayers. So I think that we need to have that honest discussion about what is really going on. And there are many city council members that are against this, many of them are for it. It's an issue that is going to continue for the next several weeks, if not possibly into the next year. And I can guarantee you, if I'm elected as your representative, I'll bring your voice and the information back to you, not just what you're seeing on the news at night.
Thank you. Willie?
First of all, I oppose any stadium if it relies on public subsidies. And I also oppose any stadium if the local government doesn't support it. But I will support it only if we have meaningful access, assurance of economic development and jobs to minority businesses, businesses that are going to develop here in Minneapolis.
Thank you, Willie. Michael?
In theory, I support the stadium, but when I say in theory, because I think that it is an economic benefit to our entire state, and particularly to those who live in the metropolitan area, not specifically Minneapolis. Now, if that means that we have to hire from California, as my colleagues on the forum suggested, I'm not for it. But then at the same time, I have to look at the pool of eligible and employable folks. Is it there? If it's not there, how can we get it there? Particularly coming from our community and our people working. And I think that that's where we should have a right around building. That they develop that job.
Thank you. Tara?
We're talking about the stadium, you know, we've heard it multiple times through this conversation. You have to get to the heart of the matter. The city council still has to approve whether or not it happens or not. As a resident and as a homeowner, who pays property taxes, who pays taxes, for those who may not own but still pay sales tax, if we can divert sales tax revenue from the convention center for a stadium, why can't we do it for our parks? Why can't we do it for youth development? Why can't we use it for other livability issues, including transportation, including road construction? Why can't we do it for that? We should be able to vote on whether or not we want that to happen at the city level. A Viking Stadium will happen. It will more than likely happen in 59B. What I want, and I believe everyone here wants, is that there has to be a shared benefit for the residents that live here. We take the brunt of downtown, we should benefit from it as well.
Thank you. That was good round there. We're going to stay with the 1 minute. Keep it going. Again, how we